So before I lost you, you guys are heading off the Nationals, Coach, and you guys get the. When did you get the news?
Right after 3 yesterday.
Okay.
So,
And how do you tell the guys immediately, or do you got to confer with your coaches? What do you do at that point?
well, we've been talking about all day what our plan would be and how we'd handle it and stuff like that. So, I just think the best way to do it is, hey, be honest with them. And I think obviously some guys took it better than others. It's a hard thing to stand in front of them. And the thing that I try to get across to people is this wasn't a year-long goal or a year-long dream. For a lot of these guys, it's a lifelong dream. And, they've worked at it since they were little kids, and that's a hard thing to do. The hard thing to tell them.
What did you say to Shakur Laney? What did you say to Zach Carson? Like, what are the words you even say to him?
I didn't really tell them individually. I told everybody as a group, and I think you talk to them individually after that. And I did talk to each guy, and I think Shakur Laney's the guy that, hey, he's not going to let it define him. He knows he's got bigger and better things coming down the road for him. Zach Carson, on the other hand, it was pretty tough on him. He's one of those guys that does all the right things as far as eat right, sleep right, train right, and it was hard for him. And then the other two guys are younger guys. It's their first trip to the national tournament. I'm not going to say it was easy for them, but it might have been a little easier for them because they know they have more chances coming up.
Ernest is just a freshman from Wadsworth, Ohio. Hagen is from Missouri?
Yeah, Eureka, Missouri.
Okay. So, you got two younger guys who have trips left, right? But it's just like anything in life. You want to do it now. You don't want to wait for the future, right?
Well, that's kind of the message we give them all year long is you got to make the most of right now because you don't know what's going to happen. And, I know we told Zach Carson and Shakur Laney that last year, and, because that's something we frequently talk about. Man, you have to make the most of right now because you don't know what's going to happen. And unfortunately for them, the tournament was canceled this year.
Joel, this is unprecedented. You've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. We did live through 9/11, obviously, but it didn't cancel any major championships. They're canceling March Madness. They're postponing the Masters. They played the NCAA basketball through World War II. So this is unprecedented. Where do you go from here? What's the next step for Ohio University? Joel Greenlee, you got the two fifth-year guys that we're hearing about a sixth year. We're hearing all this crazy stuff. What are you hearing about extending careers and things like that? And obviously there's some ramifications to that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you give people a sixth year. How do you decide who gets it, who doesn't get it? There's a couple of guys out there right now that have already had 6 years. Do they get a seventh year? Do you want a seventh year?
Johnny Sebastian's going to have a doctorate degree before this thing's said and done. They give him a, you know what I mean? Like that guy's got, I think he has 2 degrees working on a third.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I think, what I told you. Yeah, I just don't know. There's a lot of guys that already have jobs. They're supposed to start in June or July. How does that play into it? Do you lose that job now? Can you get into a master's degree program at your school? Because theoretically, all these guys should be finishing their degree if they're fifth year or sixth year guys. Can you get into a master's degree? Do they have what you want? Do you want to do that? I assume all the other colleges are about in the same boat that we're in. We calculated the money these guys that our seniors are getting, and we gave it to already have it committed to incoming recruits. What do you do about that?
Would you be over? How many scholarships would you be over?
In the neighborhood of 1, give or take.
Got it. So you'd be over though. You're not. Yeah. You're going to be over. Logistically, you can't do it financially speaking.
I can't imagine the NCAA going, oh, you have a 1-year reprieve and you could go over that scholarship amount for these guys. how do you decide? Do you decide just the affected people, so the people that made it to the NCAA tournament? What about Zeb Miller that got the flu the day before the MAC tournament and didn't wrestle up to his capabilities and didn't make it? What about, Zeb Miller that hurt his knee and missed part of the season and didn't
Pandora's
make it?
box, Joel.
Yeah,
Pandora's box. Well, listen,
think,
I'm going to call you back here a little bit. I got some stuff going on. I'm going to give you a call back. We'll talk. We'll continue to talk. This is developing. We're going to continue to talk about it. Thank you for the time, Joel. I'll give you a call back here after a little bit. And I'm interested to hear more from you. All right, man?
All right. Sounds good.